The penultimate stage of the rally then, and the longest of the entire event. The riders woke this morning in the desert of Al Goa, having done all the mechanical prep to their bikes alone last night. A long day ahead, and this is a key stage to determine the outcome of this year's rally. Tosha Sharaina, who won yesterday's stage and leads the rally overall, was, and not for the first time, opening the stage today, and was, not for the first time, struggling manfully with navigation. He got lost early on and was playing catch-up for the remainder of the stage, eventually finishing 7th and dropping to 5th overall. But a podium is still definitely on.
Today definitely was the worst day to open the stage. It was so tricky. I did a mistake of navigation, kilometer 50. I think definitely we did a bad strategy in this rally, opening this stage. But yeah, it's part of the game and we will try tomorrow again.
One man we haven't seen a lot of this week has been Nacho Corneo on the Hero. Riding alone after the demise of his teammate Ross Branch, but today Nacho was right on it, 3rd fastest, and he heads into the final stage right in the fight for the podium positions.
I had a lot of fun. I'm enjoying a lot the riding, my Hero bike, and we did a good stage. The overall is tied. So tomorrow, last push. It's gonna be a tight battle, but we will do our best out.
Luciano Benavides now on the KTM. The Argentinian battling all week with Brabec, and today he came into the stage ahead of the Honda rider, but wasn't able to make inroads. In fact, he was off the pace, only 6th fastest, and that has opened up the final podium spots massively. It was a big day for Honda's Ricky Brabec, just 40 seconds down on Benavides this morning, so the American wasn't hanging around today. Critically, over 2 minutes quicker, and that was enough to get back on the podium.
Today I was, trying to push as hard as I can to get to the front to get some bonus time, but unfortunately it took me almost the whole stage to catch them, and then near the end it was a little bit dusty, and I managed to get in front of them and tried to gap them a little bit to put some seconds to them, but yeah, it didn't work.
After a steady start, we said that Adrian Van Beveren would need to find something if he was going to get himself back in the fight, and today we saw the real VBA back in business. 2nd in the stage, a brilliant day, and another man in the fight for a podium finish.
The stage was hard. There was a lot of big dunes. Was a tricky day, but yeah, I gave my best. I push as much as I could. I catch up with the guys at the end of the stage. So overall, it's a good day.
On the bikes, it's not just about outright speed. It's about strategy, and getting the mixture of the two right is often the key to victory. And so far, Daniel Sanders has nailed it. Another stage win for the Australian, but critically, he carries a lead of nearly 7.5 minutes into the final day. Sanders on course for 3 W2RC victories in a row.
Yeah, one more day to go. I'll be at the front tomorrow, so yeah, I've got to try and push as much as I can opening the road book and hopefully not lose a lot of time.
So Sanders from Van Beveren, from Nacho Corneo, your top 3 today. But while Sanders is comfortably out front overall, just look at the fight for the remaining podium positions. 2nd to 6th, covered by just over 2 minutes. Tomorrow will be a big day. On to the quads, and Marek Lodge was quickest in class today and set to comfortably extend his lead, but was hit with a 6-hour penalty for outside assistance, and the overall victory is gone. A better day, though, for fellow Polish rider Marcin Wilkolek, also on his Yamaha 700 Raptor. Despite a 15-minute penalty, he was 2nd fastest. Meanwhile, Antanas Kanopkinas finds himself back in the lead of the class after the penalties given to Lodge. Kanopkinas wins the stage today with just the run back to Abu Dhabi remaining.
This year in the quad category, the winner will be who will have less problems.
Confirmation of the stage results from today then. And overall, Kanopkinas leads by nearly half an hour. Is 2025 the Lithuanian's year? Back to two wheels now, and in the Rally 2 category, no surprises. It was the man who has dominated the entire show from the word go. Michael Docherty with another stage win today to further extend his overall lead.
It was a really awesome stage, just trying to keep the bike safe as well. So yeah, no, I'm just happy we got one more day, and looking forward to the end.
Konrad Dabrowski, meanwhile, continued his charge towards second place. If he can hang on tomorrow without any issues, that will be a brilliant result for the young Polish star. Tobias Ebster on the KTM has done a good job to haul himself back into the podium positions, but he only managed 5th fastest today. And as a result, the fight with this man, Rui Barbosa, will rage on all the way to the finish in Abu Dhabi. Barbosa, riding with X-Raid's experience, has been somewhat of a superstar. On only his first Rally Raid event, a podium is a genuine possibility.
Overall, I am happy to be here without injury. My bike is in good condition, so really nice experience.
And a quick shout out too for Kalian Bold Eden Bileg leading the charge for the HT Rally Raid team, 7th quickest today. Docherty's name remains imprinted at the top of the leaderboard then, the South African yet to be outpaced. His lead overall stands at over 28 minutes from Dabrowski. Ebster and Barbosa though, well, that fight is going down to the wire.
Day 2 of the marathon stage at the 34th Abu Dhabi Desert Challenge, and with the FIA drivers joining the FIM riders in the temporary bivouac for the very first time, this was a novel experience for quite a few competitors. For others, it was nothing new. But what does a day in the life of a Rally Raid marathon stage driver actually look like? Let's find out, and we'll start with race leader Nasser Al Attiyah, who was 100% ready for the 300 kilometers to come.
Good morning. Very good night. Sleep good. Wake up early, breakfast, now ready. A nice shower. Today we need to really push and to be strong, and now we are come back again to lead, and we try to keep it. Yep.
Possibly he pushed a bit too hard early on. Navigator Edouard Boulanger struggled to keep that delicious breakfast down. Other than that though, today went fairly well for the pair. Leading out, they were there or thereabouts throughout, fighting for the stage win. In an incredibly tight contest for the day's spoils, Nasser finished 3rd, losing out on 2nd by just 8 seconds and retaining top spot overall. So that was today in the life of Nasser Al Attiyah, but what about his teammate Sébastien Loeb, whose birthday it was today? But would it be a happy birthday? The Frenchman dreams of conquering Rally Raid, but his luck seems to run out whenever he gets close. This time he started strongly, leading after 51 kilometers on the day he turned 51.
You get the impression it's not that high, but then between the dune and what you can see, there's a hole.
But soon after, he ground to a halt at the foot of a chain of dunes and had to withdraw.
We were coming down these dunes. There was a waypoint to get here, and we went just next to it. So we did a quick 360 to get it. We were only 10 meters away. I went back into my own dust, and in those 3 seconds I was in the dust. There was a little dune in the riverbed. We hit it, and we rolled end over end. Game over. There's not much more to say. You can't get more unlucky than that.
One driver we haven't mentioned yet this rally is Alia Kolok, the only female in the category.
Just fine. A little cold, I'm not gonna lie, but it was okay. Slept like a baby.
But what happened to her today was pretty scary to witness. Kolok and co-driver Sébastien Delaunay were airlifted to hospital, but both seemed to be okay, other than some bumps and bruises. Thank goodness. Rest up well, guys. Ford M Sport lost Matthias Ekstrom to illness yesterday, leaving Mitch Guthrie as the lone Raptor. Morning, Mitch. How was your night?
Wonderful.
That's good to hear, man. Let's see how well you can pack up your tent.
Time. Was that a record?
Just outside your PB, I'm afraid, but let's see how the day panned out for you and Kellon Walsh. Starting out from 5th from Marathon Camp, they basically stayed in that position all day. 5th on the day, but dropping one place to 8th in the standings. Seth Quintero and Dennis Zentz were just off the virtual podium overnight after a strong drive yesterday. The Americans struggled in the opening section, slipping to 5th before the first time check. They rallied, couldn't resist that one, for a while, but dropped back again to see any realistic chances of the trophy disappear.
Happy with Dennis, happy with the car, happy with the whole Toyota Guys Racing team, and yeah, I mean, we'll keep fighting for sure. I know we're a little bit out of it, probably about 6 minutes, but anything can happen.
That leaves just 2 drivers to check in on. The first, an always cheerful Brazilian who's had plenty to smile about. But it was a difficult night and morning for Lucas Moraes and Armand Monleon. 49 seconds adrift of Al Attiyah, they left 3rd and the two battled all day. Lucas just couldn't find a way past Nasser until the very last moment. 2nd today for the pair, and the general classification is now super tight heading into the final day of racing.
Yeah, I mean, this race has been really crazy. The fight with Nasser, it's unbelievable. Hey, now we are 40 seconds out of the lead, or 39. Tomorrow will be an insane day.
Polish wonderkid Eryk Goczał knows the value of a good night's sleep.
I'm gonna drive faster because of this one today.
It must have been a magic mattress as Eryk jumped from 5th to 2nd before the first time check. Seb Loeb's early withdrawal thrust Eryk into pole position, and the youngster took the opportunity with both hands and all 4 wheels. 5 if you count the steering wheel, staying out in front all the way home to win by 2 minutes 29.
Yesterday my father had a big accident. There was a big choice if I should go back to Poland with him to help him, but we decided together that I should stay and represent the family. So this stage one I want to dedicate to him, because he teach me everything. We feel good in the car. We did a really good job today with Oriol as well. No mistakes in the navigation. I think this is where we gain. We push like hell and it was really worth it.
After riders cracked us up this morning with their wilderness antics, this really was a cracking day's racing, with Goczał cracking down for the victory. Cracks really began to show in all but one of his rivals, as Nasser once again proved to be a tough nut to crack. But now it's just a very small crack between him and Lucas Moraes, the other crack driver here.
Every single day in the Challenger class this year has gifted us countless thrills and spills, and what a fight we've seen in the battle, not just for the win, but for the remaining podium positions. With South Africa's Puk Klaasen here, whose speed is not in question, but problems early on in the rally sidelined her from a top 5 finish. Nonetheless, a top 10 in the stage today, a small consolation. Back on a charge after his disaster yesterday is Saudi Arabian superstar Yasir Seaidan. Stopped for half an hour on stage 3, has all but destroyed his chance for the win. But perhaps he thinks otherwise because he was charging today, taking the stage victory by nearly 8 minutes.
Today was nice for me. We pushed a lot. We overtook most of the cars. The stage was, we had the big dunes today, the biggest dune I've never seen. I saw a lot of big dunes, but we never passed. It was very hard. Some place, 2 places I couldn't climb. I have to do one again. But then it was nice. We enjoyed a lot. The stage, I was thinking, should be more longer to win.
Following Seaidan home on stage 4, BBR teammate and overall leader Dania Akeel. Second fastest today, plenty enough to hold on to the top spot overall. She's now just 1 stage away from taking her first ever W2RC victory.
Actually, it was a really pretty stage, so you had a lot of this really nice camel grass, greenery, fast parts. Of course, in the beginning we had very high dunes, very soft sand, very technical, extremely challenging, which is always a good thing. Here in Abu Dhabi, you should leave with better skills, but I enjoyed it a lot.
But Akeel will have to get everything right tomorrow. Spain's Pau Navarro is waiting in the wings, less than 5 minutes behind. Currently second in the standings and third fastest today, just 14 seconds down on Akeel's pace. Confirmation of Seaidan's stage victory. You can be sure he will do everything he can tomorrow to try and get back on the podium. And in the fight for the overall victory, you can also be sure that Pau Navarro won't back off on his quest to reel in Dania Akeel. Bring it on.
There were big problems on stage 3 for reigning champion Mansour Al Helei. A broken turbo meant the Emirati limped into the marathon bivouac and spent all night repairing his SSV. And it was his birthday. With him and Seb Loeb's unhappy birthdays, I'm not sure it's a good idea to be born towards the end of February.
No sleep, more than 1,200 kilometers of road section, but we want to do the stage and we're still here for the fight and the fun.
He and Khalid Al-Kendi did make it to the start line, but were penalised a minute for a false start. What misfortune. And they weren't the only ones. Jeremias Gonzalez Ferrioli has absolutely dominated this race, but was also penalised for the same thing. Meanwhile, we got the chance to see Mansour's father, Yahya, who's taken part in every single edition of the rally since 1991. He was lying 4th overnight, but fighting today. His son was having a storming day, on no sleep, remember. Approaching the finish, Mansour held the fastest time and led Ferrioli by 2 minutes and 3. Alexandra Pinto, leader in the W2RC, also had a good drive. 2 podiums in a row, 3rd after yesterday's runner-up spot. Mansour Al Helei had taken the lead at kilometre 123 and held on to it for over half of the 300-kilometre special. Ferrioli and Cesana hadn't given up on a 5th straight win though, closing the gap from 4 minutes to 3, then 2 at the final checkpoint. There were 24 seconds separating them. With the Al Dhafra fort in sight, Al Helei crested the final dunes with his sights set on glory the day after his birthday. A heroic effort after yesterday's mechanical disasters, only for Ferrioli and Cesana to pip them to victory by 21 seconds. A cruel twist for Mansour. Breathtaking from the Argentinian.
We're happy to be here. We did a good stage, good rhythm, and we had fun. So, well, tomorrow is the last day, hopefully, fingers crossed, and we can have a clean day.
Unbelievably, Ferrioli has won every single day of the rally raid, and I wouldn't bet against a clean sweep tomorrow. Yahya Al Helei has made it onto the podium at his son's expense, behind Enrico Gaspari, but this has been a procession for the top pair, who lead by over an hour.